Hey everybody. It's been a while since I had a conversation with y'all. I was looking at myself from a different light and angle, literally. I got a new camera and today, my first day, and it interests me because it was only until I pulled out the selfie screen where I saw myself in a different angle and with the lighting shining. Literally, people use literally that word out of context sometimes. But when I saw myself, I saw a very handsome person. And then I started talking to myself, right? And this is why I wanted to share with y'all. And in this conversation with myself, I said, wow, my God, you haven't felt handsome in a very long time. Somebody made you feel that way. Or let's be careful with words. Somebody activated for you to feel the way that you do inside. And so that was just a very toxic situation from November, and this is April. So November, December, January, February, March, April. That was about 6 months ago. A half a year. We're not going to include that in 2021. Out with the negativity and with the brand new year. Now, I thought to myself, this is really, really interesting because in this situation that I was in, they say that there's a blessing in disguise. The guy, Robert Kiyosaki's friend, when he was 11 years old, I think his dad died, and everybody's like, oh, that's tragic, but it was a blessing in disguise because that kid took over his father's business and became a multi-millionaire. So there's ways to look at situations. Now, not only was it a different light and a different angle, it was this in a human case, it is a different perspective. And I started to look at situations dealing with DMX as a source of inspiration to understand the fragileness of life. And I, for some reason, just woke up with a new perspective towards my grandmother, pulling out this camera and doing a portrait photo of her. It was really beautiful. It came out nicely. It was like one of those things that made me realize and made me remember why I am here, why I exist, and that is to make magical, beautiful memories. But see, not everybody understands that connection between me and my grandma. It's just the connection between me and her, right? And so, as a pure person, she doesn't look for a lot of things, right? She just wants her grandchildren to be happy and healthy. So I've been talking about how, what if, be prepared to tell the people at the dinner table that you are happy and healthy and mean it, and then see what they say. Because ultimately, that's what we all want. Most of us, for our children, for our family and loved ones and friends and whoever. And so when I started to understand, to admire life again, I was inspired by Marcus Roscrans, a photographer that inspired me to buy this camera. And he was just saying, learn to appreciate everything around you and let this inspire you. And he was just saying it in such a nonchalant, very pure, innocent way. I was looking at a direct reflection of myself, it seemed like, and that's why I was drawn to him. And he was just living the life that I wanted to live with a beautiful woman that was like my type. And I was just thinking, this is what I need to see at this very moment, because we need people in our lives sometimes to inspire us, to help us understand that there is a way. But the path that I choose is not the same as his, because I have different goals and different interests. And this is very important because people get jealous and envious towards others. But if you were to really be in their shoes, you probably would not like certain things that they do So you go back to your body and you say, okay, well, I'm a lot better where I'm at here. I just need to change the way that I see myself. And I need to understand that I do affect people. People don't verbalize it to me all the time. They don't have to. A lot of people still do. But I'm just saying that there's an unspoken admiration towards you and I, and there's also an unspoken hate towards you and us and whoever, right? Whoever's watching this. And I feel like I had to simplify a better way. And like there's weeds that I'm pulling through that is really always there, and I can't just separate the piece out. It's so connected to the point where I'm listening to my body more, and I'm more calm within to be able to absorb what I'm seeing in my life, the choices that I make. So that allowed me to understand this is the reason why I made this decision, but I took action. But it's not just action, it's a conscious decision balanced with my intuition, my instincts. And most of it is not always logical. It's so natural. But my spirit, I feel, I don't know the whole science behind it. I feel like if the speed of light is very fast, right? So is spirit, and so is information and stimulation. So once I heard that Tesla was beyond his own time, beyond time and space, just like Tupac was, I started to realize when you look at Tupac, you see his skin is glowing. He pops out like a 3D in the videos. You watch closely. It was a very powerful, energizing entity that he was. And so the charismatic people just pop out. They highlight. It's bright, and everybody has that potential. But what I'm trying to say is there's a lot of beautiful things happening in my life that make sense now that didn't make sense years before. And there were things that I talked about in 2016 and so on that's slowly happening right now. And I think that it was destined to happen. I have free will to say no. I have free will to say yes. It's just that I knew that I had to go through this situation to achieve that, because subconsciously I wanted to experiment with friends that would give me an opportunity to do what I love, that would allow me a platform to walk on towards their path and build a bridge together, to help their media production company, to help their sneaker and shoe raffle that they're promoting, because my boys sell sneakers like Gary Vee sells baseball cards. There's a purpose that I found in my life. And what that gift that toxic girl I was talking to gave me was the ability to always follow that, no matter what beautiful woman is holding onto my arm, trying to anchor me down, and not in a good way. Okay, anchor my spirit down. And no matter what she was doing, I didn't care. No matter what anybody was doing. But at the same time, I care very deeply. So I have to balance those things out. And you can't always make everybody happy. And that was like, that's a constant reminder I got to tell myself. And so what I do is I give the best parts of myself in a short time frame that will help people remember for the rest of their lives, if they want to. And so that's another thing. You can say one wrong thing to somebody that can scar them. You can also do the opposite. And that's what I do. So I can't please everybody, but I give the best of myself when I can, when I want to, and if I'm there, and I think that sometimes we have to remember that, because many people stretch themselves thin until there's nothing left for them. And That's not a good way to live life, man. You do what you can, and you live with the best of memories that you achieve in your mind and to give to others.